go, baby. Good girl. So there's a backstory to all of this. My father collected quite a few gondolas, not a ton of them, but at least a dozen, and I love these cars. They're just fun. They're awesome, but they're empty, and empty gondolas, it looks pitiful. So whenever we went to the train show not that long ago, back in September, I came across some gondola loads, and of course I wasn't keeping track of what size my gondolas were, but I found these. I got them, they were cheap, like $5 for the set, and I was like, surely they'll work, they'll be great, we'll make it happen. Look at them. They're great. They're scrap metal, looks like auto parts, pieces of crushed up cars. These were awesome, so I really wanted them to work, but of course we had a problem. So it was back to the drawing board. I can't really run empty gondolas, so I was going to have to figure something out. And then my buddy Jesse over at Jesse in Oklahoma, it's a fantastic channel. He ran a short with a bunch of scrap loads, and they looked awesome. And then he made a video on how he does it. And I have been itching to make these ever since I saw his tutorial. Now I decided to do these a little bit differently. Jesse uses cardboard. I chose to use pink foam, one, because cardboard is a little more delicate and I am clumsy, but number two, because I have just tons of this stuff, scraps of it sitting around, and plus I figured this way I wouldn't have to use quite as much scrap. But as you can see there, it's a little bit flexible, so of course I'll probably break it taking it out of the gondola. So I decided to use some of this polystyrene that I cut into strips just to give a little more strength to the bottom, so that when I take the loads out of the gondolas, they won't necessarily break in half. So first step, I'm gonna just glue these polystyrene strips to the bottom of the pink foam. And since I have 12 gondola cars to work with, I figured I'd go ahead and just make all 12 scrap loads at once. And now that that part was finished, it's time to actually start working on these scrap loads. And Jesse used pieces of scrap, and gee, I sure have a lot of that laying around. I never throw stuff out when I finish a project, because you just never know when you're going to need other little pieces and parts. So in this section here, I'm basically just following Jesse's instructions and kind of arranging things as best I can, trying to give some variety and trying to make it look as convincing as possible. I think I'm overthinking it, but that's just my nature. At this time, it's kind of hard to tell how it's going to look, but I think I've got it good enough. I'm going to go ahead and add glue, and Jesse said to add glue pretty liberally, so I am. I am just gluing the ever-loving goodness out of this, and then here's what it looks like. And then I'm going to do this 11 more times, and then we'll wait for it all to dry. So it actually took about 2 days for everything to dry, but this is how they look. I pulled them out of the gondolas, and so far I'm kind of happy with them, but I think I'll feel a little bit better once I get a little paint on there and it looks less like a bunch of plastic. So I'm a little bit limited on colors of spray paint I have available, so I decided to just go with a basic gray primer, and I figured that way, this is scrap metal, a lot of metal is just basic flat gray. And so we started out with that. And then after that had dried, I went ahead and hit it with some rusty brown and a little bit of a silver tone, just to try to get a little variety in there. And then we waited for that stuff to dry before the next step. So I was pretty happy with how things had turned out so far, and I figured the next step was to go ahead and add paint and give it a little bit more realism. And I don't really know much about weathering, but I had come across a great picture of scrap metal, and I figured I would use that as my inspiration. And so what I did, I pretty much went through all my acrylic paints and pulled out every orangey color, every rusty brown color that I could find, and just kind of started going after it, different colors, hitting it here and there, trying to give as much of the look of just pieces of old rusty metal. And this is what I came up with. So once those colors had dried, I figured not to overthink it. Let's just go ahead and hit it with a black wash and see how it turns out. And once that dries, we'll determine if we need to do more. And by now, some of you have probably realized there's only 10, and that's because I ran out of room on my desk. So I figured this might do, and we're going to give this some time to dry and then check it out. Okay, so maybe they don't deserve a standing ovation, but I'm pretty happy with how they turned out since it was my first try. I think if I did it again, I could do some things better on the second round, but overall I'm pretty happy with them. So Jesse, brother, I truly appreciate you showing me how you do these. This has just been absolutely wonderful. What a great experience, and now I can run gondolas and enjoy them. And if you're not already subscribed to Jesse in Oklahoma, go to his channel, check it out. He does some really great things. He writes lyrics, he's got his own songs up there. It's an awesome channel, and I truly appreciate everybody for sticking through this entire video with me. Y'all are wonderful. Drop me a comment, let me know if there's something I could have done better. Or feel free to give me some new tips on weathering, because I still am terrified of that. But thank you all so much. Like I said, leave me a comment. I love to hear from you guys. And of course, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, because it really makes Paxton happy. Take care, everyone. Happy New Year. I love you all.
Good girl.